Hi guys, so today I'm going to be talking about Democide, which is a fairly new concept to me. I've only heard of genocide myself, and even that I guess I fully didn't understand. So Democide is basically genocide, but with an explanation. Now, how can you provide an explanation for genocide? Well, Democide is usually by a government or a government group, and the explanation usually has something along the lines with they're eradicating these people to prevent future problems. I mean, is that really a thing? Can you really eradicate a certain group of people to prevent future problems? Because you're always gonna have problems in the future. They always arise. I'm a very peaceful person, first off, so I'm very biased on this, but I believe many people would agree that genocide is never a solution. Now, my lovely teacher, Mr. Corvette, gave me a list of many different cases for which I should research this democide on. And my first one, I'm going to go to the democide or genocide in Rwanda. Now, in 1994, there was the democide or genocide, which is this is what happened. 85% of the population was the Hutu tribe. Now, that's a large amount. They are obviously the majority. 14% was only how much the Tutsi tribe had. Now, what set up the basis for this conflict is the Tutsi used to lead Rwanda kind of with like an iron fist. They're very discriminatory against the Hutu, and now they're both very discriminatory against each other. So when I guess the Hutu came in a majority or came in power, they were obviously very tense relationship. They didn't like the Tutsi tribe. Now the UN came and they disarmed the Tutsi tribe. I am going to assume, because I will give my respect to the UN, and I will assume they had no idea that there was going to be a genocide that would occur, because I have no idea what kind of people would disarm a group of individuals knowing that a genocide would occur. So I'm going to use my best judgment and say that these 187 nations had no idea that a genocide would occur. I am also going to state that over the course of 3 months that the genocide would occur, where 6 people were killed every minute of every hour of every day for 3 months. Over 20,000 babies were born after this genocide, produced because of the rape, where 67% of the women that were raped developed HIV. Now I'm going to say, to my knowledge, that the UN is an organization developed for peace, and they had no knowledge that the genocide would occur. But they could have prevented it by not disarming the Tutsi tribe, since that they were the minority. They could have stepped in after 2 weeks, after a week, after an hour of 6 people being killed systematically to prevent this genocide from taking effect, because it killed 3/4 of the Tutsi population, which is already not a large population. Now, they could have stepped in and they could have prevented this. To my knowledge, the UN is a peacekeeping organization. I really back up the UN. I support them since they are a peacekeeping organization, because I am a man of peace. I don't agree with war. I don't believe conflict solves anything. And when I heard that the UN subjugated the Tutsi tribe to disarmament, I believe that's a peaceful action. I believe they were trying to take weapons away from a aggressive tribe. Now, why do I say they are aggressive? Is because when the president was landing, and this is what started all, when the president was landing at a landing strip near, I can't find where the landing strip was, but anyway, the plane was shot down, and that is the day before the genocide started to occur, because immediately after, the Hutus were invading the Tutsi villages, pulling out the people, 20 people, so and so many people, and just shooting them, just killing them, their families, destroying families. raping women, everything possible to kill these people. That's what was done. It was ridiculous. Now, another one I'm going to cover is the Darfur genocide, which killed 400,000 people and displaced over 2,500,000 people. That is a lot to move. That is just ridiculous. And the final one I'm going to talk about, because I'm not talking about the other ones so as much, because both I couldn't find a lot of information on them. I'm assuming there's a lot of information out there. But as soon as I read about the Rwanda case, that changed my whole perspective on the UN. Because I believe they were a peacekeeping organization. I believe they took no part. I believe that in order to prevent democide in the future, we need in the UN to have stronger enforcement measures. I need people there. I want people there. If there was a democide in America, I want people to come help us within a day of this democide. I expect people to see this, because we are a nation, or we are an international community of people who share information constantly. Everybody knows about everything going on. It's ridiculous to think that this genocide could occur for 3 months where no one would know. That's impossible. And we have learned better than that. We've been through World War II. We fought the people that commit genocides. The fascists, the racists, everything. And it's not for a peacekeeping organization to not keep the peace. It's a horrible thing. And I believe the only way to prevent democide in the future is to have stronger enforcement actions in the UN available to them. Now, World Bank taking over, stormtroopers burning houses, killing villagers in Uganda. That is the title of this little article with this little video. I don't know if I believe all of this, partly because of the fact that when they interviewed the Ugandans, they didn't seem like they were questioning themselves, it seemed, as if who came. But it was more like quotes, so they weren't truly questioning themselves. They said there was police, there was military. Who was it? I'm not really sure, because I did not get a clear view on who it was. If I could get a clear view on who it was, if I had picture evidence, if I had a substantial amount that it was the police, it was this guy, then I would blame a specific party. But until I am given a specific party, I'm going to rule out the factors that it was the UN, because I know the UN is a peacekeeping organization. I've read the charter. I'm not going to say there isn't a lot of corruption in the world, but to my knowledge, 187 nations don't let each other kill one nation without the other nations knowing. It's kind of hard to do, especially in today's world. No large amount of people can just disappear and nobody question where they went. That's what happens. But I am astounded and appalled by the Rwanda genocide and all genocides that have occurred since 1945. They say he gave Mr. Corbett, my teacher, he gave me a specific fact. He said, I'm not sure if he typed it or who typed it, but 80 million people were killed since 1945, which is 13 times the amount of Jewish people killed during the Holocaust. Now, if you think about it, that's 55 years. I'm assuming a lot of people will die in 55 years. I'm assuming a lot of people will die in cold blood, because there's a war going on every single day. There's never a war not going on, so I'm gonna assume that that's kind of an obvious statement, is that there's gonna be a lot of people killed after 55 years compared to the Holocaust. But the number of genocides that have occurred since the Holocaust is what really breaks me down. Because if we have a peacekeeping organization as big, as widespread as the UN is involved in everything. They are involved in poverty, racism. You can't look up a specific discriminatory act or a specific anything important to this world. The UN is involved in. So, I mean, population of people. The UN is involved in that. We are a world connected to each other, and the UN needs to have better enforcement measures to prevent these in the future. That is all I can say about democide and how to prevent it. They need to have the will to prevent these democides. We have 187 countries. I don't understand how not one could have at least helped these people. And that's something to give you nightmares. Because I would hope to think that if there was a democide in America, I would hope that somebody would help me. That's all I can say about the democide. I can give you statistics, but we've heard those. We don't want to hear about how many people have died. We want to hear. I am a peaceful person. I want to hear about how many lives we were able to save. I don't understand why these people were left to die. But thank you. That is what I can tell you about democide and my views on the UN after hearing this. I'm appalled at the UN for not stepping in for these people. I commend them for being an international organization devoted to peace. We need that, but their lack of taking care of problems and responsibility clearly shows in these people who lost their lives. Thank you, though. That was my presentation on democide. I hope I kind of boggled your mind and gave you some added information you didn't know. Thank you.